What up? It's Yogirl, and it's been a minute. To give some background, I feel like I have to start at the very beginning. I am a brain cancer survivor, and I was first diagnosed when I was 5 years old. After receiving surgery, radiation, and physical therapy, as I had to relearn how to walk, I entered kindergarten. For the next decade or so, I regularly continued to see doctors, and the usual course of action is that if nothing has been seen within 10 years, then the battle is assumed done. Unfortunately for me, that wasn't the case. So fast forward to January 2020, and my mom took me to the hospital, which is now known as Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital. And I remember sitting in the waiting room, watching all these kids, run around the ER with these masks on, and I'm thinking to myself that I am so grateful. Unfortunately, I did not know what all was to come. And I remember my neurosurgeon saying the words to me that I am suffering a relapse. And I don't remember exactly what happened next, but I do remember saying, okay, let's do this. So fast forward to January 2020, and I was on winter break as I was a sophomore at the University of Missouri-Columbia. And I remember just complaining of headaches, and so my mom took me to the hospital, which is now Ann and Robert Lurie H. Children's Hospital, and I remember seeing all these little kids running around with masks on and, sneezing and coughing, but it all soon changed when my neurosurgeon announced that my cancer had relapsed and returned. And I don't remember exactly what happened next, but I do remember saying, okay, let's do this. So I underwent surgery at the hospital and then 6.5 weeks of radiation at Northwestern's Radiation Center. And I remember one of the radiologists saying that hair loss usually takes place within the second week. And I remember getting to that point and really I hadn't lost any hair. And then one day I was just walking around the house and I didn't feel it, of course, but then my mom would look at me and she would just see this trail of hair on the ground and turn out I was the one leaving it. And all this hair just started just suddenly coming off my head. But from that point, I did get my hair shaved. So this is when I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to tell my story and inspire others. And you all can go back and watch these videos. From that point, I did go back to school, unfortunately a semester behind, and not continuing this YouTube channel because I really didn't know the steps that I was going to take. And I was really questioning myself because I was just so confused and it just seemed like a load was just on me and trying to focus on college, get my classes done, get homework done, and then also going back home to receive medical attention. I would go back and have IVs just to check and see my blood work. But I did really do it. I completed that semester, and the following summer really just was a celebration. And so I completed the following semester, the fall of 2021, and I was on winter break in 2022 when I received news of another diagnosis. The tumor, although it was in the same location, but as a result of this surgery, I experienced aphasia, where I could only say 3 words: yes, no, and okay. So I did go to speech therapy to relearn how to articulate the words that I wanted to say. And I remember it was one of my first sessions, and starting out, I would just burst into tears because I couldn't even articulate the words that I wanted to say, and the thoughts that were in my head, I couldn't communicate them. But after weeks of practice and training, I did regain that ability and I could communicate. So unfortunately, after that, I did receive news that another tumor was found. And so I had to take extreme measures. And that meant that the radiation was so precise that I didn't move at all. And really, like a harness or cage was screwed around my head. But I walked out that day not having to have that procedure again. So from that point, I was 2 semesters behind, which is 1 complete year. So I returned to college to my senior year, and that first semester, although I was on campus, I did not return to the actual classroom. I just did all my courses online because I still wanted that experience. Now, the second semester of my senior year, that was my capstone, and so I really focused on my magazine journalism major. And I remember graduation and my family coming down and watching me earn my degrees and my cords. And I remember just being so happy that I made it to that moment. And I remember just returning home from that and unpacking all of my suitcases and everything. And unfortunately, I received another relapse diagnosis. And so I had to undergo aphasia treatment again because I experienced where I really couldn't communicate the thoughts that were on my mind. It wasn't nearly as long. So where am I right now? I am trying to be the best version of myself that I can be. And I am claiming victory while doing it. So where am I going? I don't have an exact answer. I don't have a map. I don't have a blueprint. But I do know that I am opening up. I am being my authentic self. I am expressing myself. I am being genuine. I am saying that this is me. And I am proud doing it. And a quote that came to me that I made up is that today I am the best version of myself. And tomorrow I will be even better. See, I may be delayed, but I am certainly not denied. So I thank you all for watching this. And this has been Yogirl, and I will see you all in my next video.